Hey friends, Ash here with Gents with another fragrance review. Today we're taking a look at a new fragrance from the house of Carolina Herrera. It is CH Kings. How about that bottle? Vote in the comments, tacky or awesome? This one is still not really easy to find at discounters. It has recently started popping up, but it's not really going for too much of a discount. I picked this one up for about $70 US. The reason I got it for that price is because the box had damage. I'll show you that damage in the presentation portion. It's actually not all that bad, but this one is not really going for cheap yet, and honestly I don't know if it ever will. Let's go ahead and jump into this one so I can tell you how I feel about this one, which you probably already have a pretty good idea about. Alright guys, let's check out this presentation. Remember how I told you I was cheap and I got a damaged box? There's the damage right here. That is a slash that has been covered up with tape. So if I try to take this off, basically there's a box cutter slash running right through here. Personally, it doesn't bother me, but if you buy this full retail, it's not gonna have that tape right here. It's just gonna say CHHC. You can see down here the name of the fragrance, the house, and the size and concentration, and this box does have sort of a velvety feel to it. Now the box does not feel as nice as the bottle because this is velvet laid over top of cardboard. Got the Carolina Herrera logo here at the top, little information on one side, the other side is blank, and then nothing on the back. On the bottom, you've got your batch code right here. And here we have the bottle. Like I said, this has a really nice velvety feel. Feels very nice in the hand. Does look a bit tacky. I mean, you've got a sword going through a spade here. You've got the Carolina Herrera logo, studs all around the bottle, all kinds of studs and decoration on the sword and the spade here. It's definitely calling some attention to itself, isn't it? You've got the cap here. Again, it's studded. You've got the Carolina Herrera logo at the top of the cap. It does click into place. Atomizer on this is good, same as all the other Carolina Herrera fragrances. And on the bottom, this is all etched into the glass, and your badge code is etched into the bottom here as well. There we have it, presentation for Carolina Herrera CH Kings. Yes, CH Kings. The Carolina Herrera CH Men line has had some ups and some downs. The original CH Men got hyped for a while. A lot of people rode that train and talked about how it was awesome and a compliment beast fragrance. Great for a night out, all that good stuff. CH Men Privé, another one that a lot of people really like, and it does smell nice. And then some fragrances that really haven't been talked about all that much. CH Men Central Park, for example. CH Men Africa. CH Men Grand Tour, a lot of people really liked, but it's hard to find now and fairly expensive. CH Men Sport gets crapped on a lot. CH Men had some ups and some downs. So where does this fall on that spectrum? Let's talk about that. When you very first spray this one on, like so, it briefly has a nice freshness to it. And when I say briefly, I mean maybe a minute or two. Has a touch of fresh cardamom in the opening, along with a pink pepper, black pepper combination that lends a little bit of nice spice to it. Pretty quickly though, a dusty cacao note settles in and settles over top of that freshness and the spice in the opening. To me, the opening is missing something here. It's missing some brightness. It doesn't really grab your attention right off the bat, which a good fragrance with a good opening will do that. You'll spray it on, and when it hits your nose, it just grabs your attention. This does not. It needs something in there to liven it up, to give it a little pop. Maybe a little green apple or citrus or anything. It smells a little bit muted, almost like you laid a sheet over top the fragrance. In music terms, it sounds like if you mixed a song by cutting out all of the high frequency from it. Imagine a song you're really familiar with, just axe the entire top end. That's what this smells like in fragrance form. Regardless of all that, this doesn't smell bad in the opening. It's actually the best part of the fragrance smell-wise. It just smells like it could have been more and smells like there's something missing. After a few minutes, a fresh lavender starts trying to creep into the fragrance. You start to pick it up a little bit. It has a slight gourmand feeling in the opening, but there's not enough cacao in here for it to be a true gourmand fragrance. More like it just has a slight gourmand edge. After about 20 minutes, you start to pick up mainly tonka with an ambery undertone. All of those peppery facets from the opening at this point have died away. There's also a faint hint of coffee in the mid, along with an ambroxan-ish musk. Technically the note is musk, but it has an ambroxan tinge to it. The lavender is still in the fragrance at this point, and it still has that little bit of a dusty tinge from the opening. I'm imagining that that dusty, slightly powdery feeling is probably coming from the violet, which is one of the notes in this fragrance, though I don't actually pick up the note of violet. And once I hit the dry down of this fragrance, the coffee becomes much more noticeable to my nose than it was in the mid. I wouldn't call it a coffee scent, but it goes from being a fragrance with coffee just on the far outside of the scent in the mid to where the coffee is more on equal footing with the cacao in the dry down. It isn't loud and it's not a strong coffee note, but it's unmistakably a roasted coffee bean. I mainly pick it up in what I like to call the after scent, which is almost like aftertaste, only for your nose. Let me try to explain it a little bit so I sound less insane. Once you first breathe something in or smell something, you get that big powerful waft of whatever it is that you're smelling that hits your nose first. After you're done smelling or breathing in or whatever, that scent that kind of lingers in your nose, on your palate, that's what I'm talking about. And that's when you'll pick up that little tinge of roasted coffee. The tonka, amber, and musk are the other most prominent notes in the dry down. It's got a warm, aromatic, slightly sweet dry down. Though I've got to say, about an hour and a half in, this fragrance, CH Kings, has a really boring, unmemorable far dry down. At that point, it's mainly just a weak, dusted tonka and musk. It is completely forgettable to me. This one also does not project heavily off my skin at any point in the fragrance's life. It's a subtle type fragrance right from the beginning, unless you want to spray yourself maybe 20 times, which I don't suggest because then you're going to have a splitting headache. At one point, I was comparing this fragrance to Paco Rabanne Pure Excess Night, which is a fragrance that I've reviewed in the past. It's one that I really, really like. Either way, I had this on this arm, Pure Excess Night on this arm. I had 3 sprays of CH Kings, 1, 2, 3, 1 spray of Pure Excess Night, and head to head, the Pure Excess Night destroyed CH Kings in terms of performance. No exaggeration, Pure Excess Night, 1 single spray completely drowned out CH Kings. You could not even smell this anymore, it just completely overpowered it. I'm not trying to make this necessarily a head-to-head between those 2 fragrances because they're not really all that similar. I was comparing the 2 fragrances because they're 2 that I might consider wearing in similar situations, similar seasons, and this could not stand up to Pure Excess Night. It was not close. CH Kings projects softly off my skin for about an hour and 15 minutes. There is never a point that this is a strong projector, not even right at the beginning. It basically gives you a small personal scent cloud and stays that way. That's not automatically a bad thing because there are fragrances that do that I love. Again, going back to the classic Dolce & Gabbana, the One, that fragrance never really projects strongly, but that fragrance has done wonders for me over the years. When you're in certain situations with a special someone up close and personal, you don't want a really loud fragrance that's going to choke them out. Situations like that sometimes call for a little more subtlety, and this does have that subtlety. Basically, just don't wear this to a bar or a club expecting it to project across the entire room that you're in and draw attention to yourself, because that's not going to happen. Longevity is not great. 4 to 5 hours. After that, it's nearly imperceptible. To me, this is more of a nighttime fragrance than it is a daytime fragrance, though it would work in either one. It just leans a little bit more toward nighttime. And the way this fragrance is made is more of a cool and cold weather fragrance. I mean, you can just look at the note breakdown and tell that's where it's going. The problem is, it's a really weak fragrance off my skin. So if you wear this when it's really cold outside, it's not going to cut through much of anything. It's just going to die and sit next to your skin. That ends up relegating this basically to a fall fragrance. Gotta tell you guys, I am not impressed with this, and it's kind of a bummer. I was looking forward to it and I was hoping it was going to be awesome. It does share a little bit of the CH Men DNA, but to me it seems like they just took random notes from a lot of the fragrances in the CH Men line and just jumbled them all together. So you've got coffee and pink pepper from Africa, some tonka and lavender from Privé, violet and amber from CH Men, and then cardamom from multiple CH releases. It's like it has bits and pieces of that DNA stolen from different scents in the line and then just thrown into this bottle, and for me it doesn't work. The opening is the best part. Unfortunately, it feels like there's something missing in that opening. Again, just something to draw your attention in. It's not there. After that opening, it gets more and more boring until it hits the full dry down, and then it's just a complete waste. It's almost like they couldn't decide exactly where they were going with this one. Like they tried to throw a few things at the wall and nothing stuck. It's like they couldn't decide if they wanted something dark or something sweet or something spicy. So instead, it's none of those. Unfortunately, it's just a failure. This one basically sucks. If I'm being completely honest with you, this is not a good release. The coolest thing about this fragrance is probably the velvet on the bottle. It's like a nice velvet jacket. Honestly, it's a good thing this is a limited edition. Once it's gone, nobody's gonna miss this thing. This is an unmitigated disaster. You would be so much better off just buying CH Men or CH Men Privé from a discounter and use that for a date night fragrance or a night out fragrance over this one. Both of those smell better, both of those are cheaper, both of those last longer than this one. I don't care about reformulations on CH Men, it still lasts longer than this. This is overpriced, this doesn't smell unique, this doesn't smell nice, this doesn't capture attention, this is not worth the money. I paid $70 for this, and I still feel screwed. Don't make my mistake. If you guys have smelled this one, let me know what you think about it in the comments below. Let me know if you think this is awesome, the best CH Men release, and I'm out of my mind. I don't think I am though, this does suck. And let me know which Carolina Herrera fragrance is your favorite. It doesn't even necessarily have to be in this line. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate all your support. I'll see you guys again tomorrow with another fragrance related video. Might not be a review, I might come up with something else, you never know. See you guys.